Now, money attracts cheaters, especially when it comes to esports. The more money on the line, the more money they can see they can win. And we took some time to actually look into ways people have been cheating in the past, and of course, definitely some moments you guys are going to recognize as well.
Admit it. At some point in your gaming career, you thought about or even used cheats. Cheating has been present in gaming since the very beginning, and it's not a surprise that this shady practice has also transitioned into esports. Back in the days, game designers would put special lines of code into games in order to skip levels, spawn certain items, and generally test the game's functionality. But gamers wouldn't be gamers without cracking these codes and using them for their own advantage. That's why in time, game designers stopped bothering about taking them out before release, like the famous Konami code, even going so far as deliberately adding cheat codes, seeing that they simply made their products more interesting. Just like the code that enabled gore in Mortal Kombat. But by the time the internet came around, the times of writing down our GTA tank codes on a piece of paper came to an end, and the cheats themselves, well, they became much more sophisticated than just making your sim filthy rich overnight. Aimbots, wall hacks, programs that unlocked in-game features, currency miners, you name it. Demand for programs giving unfair advantages in games is high, and also makes their creators earn quite a bit of cash, as most of these 100% foolproof undetected hacks need to be bought. Okay, but back to esports. It's quite obvious that sometimes when you want to stay at the very top, you reach for the means that could get you and your team into a lot of trouble. But despite the looming threat of ruining their gaming careers, a few players still take that risk. One of the most notable examples is Nikhil Forsaken Kumawat, who used to play for the Indian Optic Gaming roster. Forsaken was caught red-handed during the Extremes LAN 2018 Asia Finals after being flagged for suspicious behavior. And as admins tried to check his PC, he hesitantly tried to delete the program he was using. Long story short, Optic India was immediately disqualified and Forsaken himself was kicked from the team. It might have looked crazy, but Forsaken is not the first player to have joined a long list of punished pros. But luckily, using third-party programs is a rare sight in professional esports. However, that does not mean that players don't get creative in their ways of gaining the upper hand. During the 2012 League of Legends World Championship, a member of Azubu Frost, Woong, glanced over the big screen above the enemy team to check their minimap and positions, and because of that, his team was later fined $30,000. Another interesting and classic method of cheating involves marking your cards. This happened during Magic the Gathering's Mythic Championship 2 in London. Yuya Watanabe, Hall of Famer and one of the most decorated MTG players of recent years, was disqualified from the tournament after judges spotted unusual markings on the sleeves of his cards.
During a deck check in round 15 at Mythic Championship 2, the judge staff noticed an issue with Yuya Watanabe's deck, where the sleeves of his Urza's power plants were marked in a specific way.
Later investigation proved Watanabe guilty and not only compromised his career, but also created an outrage within the community. Moving forward, in a world of so many games being played on a daily basis, sometimes someone will get the idea to just skip that whole competition nonsense and choose the easy way with fixing matches. Scandals like this happen in most games, but one of the worst was probably that involving StarCraft and Lee Life Sung-hyun. Named one of the best players in history, in 2016, Life was arrested after an investigation carried out by the Korean Esports Association and later sentenced to 18 months in prison, together with a 3-year suspension and a 70 million won fine. That's $64,000 in US currency, and a lifetime ban from any KESPA events. That's the price he had to pay for being involved in a match-fixing scandal that erupted a year earlier, where Life was proven to be paid for losing matches on purpose in order to later get the money from the bets. What a fall. So as you can see, cheating is never the way to go. Tournament organizers and game developers are working hard to crack down on these behaviors, but even though such scandals are a rarity, there will always be someone who will try to play dirty. Don't be like them. Play fair.
If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and don't cheat your way out of this one. And also do yourself a favor and check out all of our other videos.